Okay.
This is Deaf Ears 3, Uncle Acid and the Deadbeats, with Nell Ora Blah. For our third and final British Deaf Ears,
I don't know what.
I swear we did not plan it this way, comes Kevin Stars and his band of occult-obsessed psych metal weirdos, Uncle Acid and the Deadbeats, with Nell Ora Blah, The Blue Hour. This is album number 6. Is the first new music from Uncle Acid in 6 years, having toured the world with everyone from Ghost to King Diamond. It is obvious that Mr. Stars has used the additional time during lockdown to bring an absolutely bonkers idea to fruition. 19 songs span nearly 80 minutes, morphing the band's signature guitar gloom with icy synths, Italian voiceovers, and lots of telephone calls. If Pink Floyd wrote a film score to an Italian horror movie, it may have sounded something like this.
With all the shows I've been to in my life, I've seen, Metallica in '86. I've seen Maiden a bunch of times. I've seen huge shows. If you put a gun to my head and I had 30 seconds, seeing Uncle Acid and the Deadbeats was probably the greatest show I've ever been to. They came with. We went to go see Graveyard from Sweden. But they came out and they had, as they played, they had synchronized just these images on these screens behind them of witches and orgies and girls jumping over fires and drugs and, demons. And by the time Graveyard came out, Graveyard was musically better. There was no way you could follow that show. We were kind of like let down by Graveyard. So anyway. For this album, I was going to say, this isn't cruising down the highway type of music, but ironically, I've been listening to this thing in my car for like a week now. All the song titles are in Italian. I read that Stars tried to actually learn Italian for this project, but he gave up on it and he had to use a translator. So the vibe is consistently creepy, cold, and grim. There's lots of synths and not really a lot of vocals. Obviously, it's an album that needs to be experienced, not just heard, preferably with headphones, because there's a lot of trippy effects going on in the mix. There's a palpable sense of dread in Tortura al Telefono, torture on the phone, which takes about a minute or two of ambient noodling to get going. But once it does, it's a glorious Hammond-infused trudge-up Golgotha 1973 style with a wailing lead. There are saxophones, pianos, lots of killer bass lines from Justin Smith on this thing. The vinyl issues are breathtaking. Sherbet lemon-colored, blood red-colored. I am seriously thinking about going with the double turquoise. That's why we were late for the live stream today, because I was poring over all the different vinyls, trying to decide which one I wanted for this. The label's already sold out of their vinyl, so you may end up blowing this week's beer money for a copy, but it is so worth it. I would have to say that of all the Italian horror movie soundtracks by British bands based on a movie that doesn't exist, this is my favorite of the year. This song is called La Vipera.
This is the Snaggletooth Rock and Roll Podcast.